Look. Okay. Okay. It's the Bright Queen, and some messages were coming through. It's so interesting. Like, this has been happening more often. Like, I'll be sitting here, like, talking to myself, and then I'll say something that's like a channel message, and I'm like, I gotta share this. They're wanting me to talk about where I am right now. I am, oh yeah. They're saying, like, the end of cycles, closing out. I was greatly, like, inspired by this clip. I'm gonna share it. It'll be in the description. Um, but anyways, it's not in the description as it's live, but it will be later. There's a dragonfly. It's 222200 on the sign. But this place that I just went to, it's called, like, what's it called? Just Love Cafe, coffee cafe. And I stumbled upon it in a time in my life where I was, like, always looking to escape my home, like, not wanting to be at home. And I remember, like, around this time, about 2 years ago, like, I just really, like, didn't want to be at home. I felt so, like, estranged from my family. I just felt, like, so tormented. And I used to, like, sit in my car, and it's so hot in Texas, and so it'd be so hot in here. But I used to just sit here rather than go home. And today I didn't, like, come here in that space. Like, today I came here happy and, like, calm and at peace. Um, and then yesterday I went to see the Conjuring movie, The Last Rite, and I was very adamant. I love whenever, like, my soul is like this, but I was very adamant about going with my parents to see this movie. I know my stepdad really loves the Conjuring series, and I remember, I always have this memory, like, fresh in my head for some reason, but I remember when the first Conjuring movie came out, we went to get tickets for it in the Woodlands, and we went to, like, the movie theater that's, like, in front of the mall where you have to, like, get out, and we were standing there, and I remember arguing with my stepdad about the pronunciation of the film, and I was telling him it's called The Conjuring, and he was like, no, it's The Conjuring, and I was like, no, it's not, it's The Conjuring. And he was like, I'm some years old, like, I know what the name of, I know how to say this word. And I remember just, even then, we used to always, like, butt heads a lot. Always, like, this, like, conflict between us. We're both Leos. He's an August Leo, I'm a July Leo. And it'd always be this conflict and, like, this beef between us. And I don't know if you know or not, but The Conjuring, The Last Rite is the last movie in that series, in the Conjuring series. It's the last one. And so, like, me inviting him, like, wanting to go with him yesterday, like, it was, I kept thinking, like, it's such a full circle moment where, like, I no longer have, oh my gosh, I'm feeling so emotional. I no longer have that, like, that beef or that separation from him. It's all love, it's all forgiveness. And this doesn't mean that, like, everybody's perfect and we're just la la la, and I never get irritated by anybody ever again, because that's certainly not true. But it does mean, like, I have an open heart, and I have, like, compassion, and I seek love out in every situation as much as possible. And it changed everything. It's just like a full circle moment. And the thing that I wanted to talk about for some reason was this group chat that I was in. This is how the message was coming forward. I hate group chats. I've always hated them. I don't like group chats. I think what it is like because I'm so like intuitive and like psychic, is that I like pick up on like other people's voices. Like I can hear people's voices. And so when it's like multiple people in a group, I can like feel and like hear, like it's so many voices talking at once, so many thoughts, so many feelings. And so I don't know, if you were in my family, everybody knows like I'd be ducking out of the group chats. Exit left. But anyways, I was in this group chat, and I remember there was this person who was being so mean. And that's why also people don't like me in group chats, because I'd be calling people out. But he was being mean. He was saying how like, oh, and all the spiritual people online, they keep talking about ascension symptoms. Those aren't ascension symptoms. Those are things that are being done by them, that's like causing you to feel sick. And like people, he was like saying like all the spiritual people online are like thinking it's like a godsend, but it's not. It's like people who hate you who are doing these things. And my response to that, I was like, well, even if that's the case, the only reason that they would be putting up these machines and sending out these frequencies and all these harmful things would be to deter people who are becoming more conscious. Because why would you spend like all that money, all that time and that effort on something just for a little extra, like, I don't know, torture or fun? Like, you wouldn't do that if you were already winning. You'd only do it if you were like losing or about to lose. You'd put in all this extra effort. And so in that sense, they're still right. These people who you are chastising, which I was one of them, are still right, because the symptoms of those machines would still be ascension symptoms, because they'd only be being used to prevent ascension. Like it's all connected. And so I wanted to say that I feel like that's very important. And I feel like also just like, yeah, all of this coming full circle. This sign here says align athletics, like alignment. Something is coming into alignment. Yeah, I think I wanted to say that more for myself than anything, because I feel like after that I got attacked, like by that person, by another person, by a couple of people in this group chat, honestly. And I would always call it out, because a lot of the things that people will do is they will like say something and like it'll be like the words, but the energy behind it, even if they don't say anything, honestly, the energy behind it, I'm like, I can feel it. Like, that's the whole reason I call myself Queen Sensitivity. I'm extremely sensitive. Like, I can feel the energy and intention behind the words, and I would call it out. And people love to like try to gaslight me and kind of like tell me like, you know, oh, that's not true, da, 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 you're bringing up stuff, da, 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 da. And like also like I said about the machine things and like the ascension things, like try to make it seem like I was like, I don't know, being illogical or something like that. I don't know. But I did want to say that. And like, I feel like the big, I'm hearing cahoots, or the big scheme of it all is what I'm saying is like the love, like find the love in everything. And I also want to say like, as everything is like coming to the full circle, the little loop, coming back, returning back home to the point. And I said this in my other video. Yeah, this was a message that came out of my other live. Like all the hard work that you've been doing in terms of like giving love and compassion and trying your best to come from like a heart-centered approach is going to pay off. Like, I don't like to think about life in terms of like, you know, give and take too much. Like, you don't want to be like, oh, let me do this just to receive something. But I'm hearing and I've been feeling like in this aspect, this will be granted. Like what you've given will be returned tenfold. I was greatly guided, and it felt so natural for me to go and watch this energy Oh my gosh, I see this comment. Arakina na sarakara kurokina, but sarakana ma harakana. I was guided to go and watch this interview with Tiana Taylor, and she was saying how like throughout her divorce and like when it became public, she just like was still giving so much love and protection to her ex-husband. Like she would always like protect him and fight for him and fend for him online. And she said it was like revealed to her that like the whole time he didn't feel the same way about her, like he wouldn't do the same for her. And she was like, I gave all of that like for nothing. Like I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have been so compassionate with you. I shouldn't have defended you so much because you know you just turned and betrayed me. Give me a moment. Yeah. You just turned back and betrayed me. And I could just feel like this energy from like source saying like, no, it's all gonna come out. It's all gonna play out. And like I said, this was a message I got the other day. Like, don't think for 1 second that all your efforts have been wasted. Like, it's all going to play out beautifully. Like, beautifully. Trust it. I have a pick a card coming out. I'm very, very excited about that. Especially after the last videos that I did. What are they called? They are all about you. I was very nervous, very, very nervous about sharing those. And I feel like a part of it was kind of what I mentioned in the video, was that there would be somebody that was judging me. Yeah, I see this bug just came by right as I said that. There would be somebody judging me. And they did. And I triggered them that would be watching it. But I finally watched it myself and I was like, oh my gosh, this is great. Love this for myself. I love what I've done. I don't know if I'll post this. Is there anything else to say? I think this might be it. I don't think I'll save this one. Just in time. There's something sticky on the floor. Hold on. I've returned to this space where I once was, where before I was in a very like almost traumatized kind of space and really was not giving myself the proper self-love, if any at all. And I've returned to this space so in love with myself, so at peace with myself, so grateful for myself, listening to myself and my soul's concerns, being in alignment with myself, in integrity with myself, trust with myself. And I feel like it's just changed everything. This is also something that I want to say, as I've said before, like, we create our own reality. And so whenever it was time for me to do all this stuff so I could be in this space, I had to reveal everything, every fucking thing that had ever like bothered me with my family. And it was so hard. It was beyond hard. And it took a long time. But like once I addressed all those things, spoke them out, and then released them after that, they no longer, like, they stopped appearing in my reality. A friend of mine is like going through it with her family. And I was telling her, I was like, I know what that's like. I know what that's like, and I can help you. And this is how, this is the key, this is the sauce. So listen up. This is what you gotta do. This is what I did anyways. I revealed everything. I spoke everything out loud. I shared it. All these things, all these secrets. within my mind from that I'd held on to from my childhood. I shared them all out. Even from present day, I spoke them out, and it pissed pissed people off. Some people are still pissed about it. But I got them out, and took a long time to adjust just to them being out. And then eventually, through the love and compassion of other people, honestly, that I kind of like saw being role modeled, I released it myself. I released it from me, and it stopped showing up in my reality. Is there anything I can like give an example of? I think so. One of the things that used to always bother me was like always having a lot of people at my house. Like growing up, we always had like people at our house, and me being super duper sensitive, that shit pissed me off to no end. Especially when we weren't allowed to go to their houses like that. I think, and I know it's because like of the energy that I hold and that my mother holds is super attractive, and so people always come to us, and I hated it. And I realized that a part of it was that for one, I didn't feel like I deserved like my own space and my own peace. And on the other hand, I feel like I was also like rejecting like that part of myself that is this bright star, this bright queen, that is very attractive, like not really knowing how to like balance and work with that. And then once I like worked with that and accepted all those parts of myself, and found out and knew that I deserved like my own space and quiet, like it just stopped happening. And now every once in a while when we do get those visitors and stuff, instead of like seeing it as a nuisance or seeing it as like something to immediately get rid of, I think, well, here I am in this beautiful position where I have a place to sleep. Like I'm safe, I'm good, I'm feeling comfortable. I'm so privileged to be in this position where I can give and share my space with somebody else. And so now, like whenever we do have those rare visits, like I'll ask them, like, what do you need? What can I help you with? What can I give you? And I feel like me just even being in that kind of like receptive space lessens it even more, like lessens the burdens that I have to bear. Hi, I'm not moving. Oh, these people are biking. That's so sweet. But yeah, I hope these things help. Hi, who is Mia? Mia said, hi, my love. That's so sweet. It reminds me of like one of my friends where she's always, y'all, the people that be loving me, I'd be like, oh my gosh. She always like talks to me in this way. She's like, hi, beautiful. Hi, my love. Like always just speaks so highly of me. Oh, it's so sweet. And it's because I speak highly of her. I feel like I never like allowed myself to like speak highly or like be so open with people. And then once I finally did, I started receiving that back. Not from everybody, but from some people. And so again, this is what I mean by like we create our own realities. Like I think for a long time I was like waiting for like the right people or waiting for like the right space and time for like to soften, right? Like I'm like waiting for like, oh, it's gonna be like the books and like there's gonna be the right person, the right people, the right time, and like then I'll be able to be soft like they are in Queer Eye, the revamped one. And it took me being brave enough to be soft in order to attract that into my reality. It's not even attract, to like create it, reflect it back into my reality. It's very beautiful. Took a while, but we're here now. I do want to say something else. It's kind of like random, but I'm very like, I go everything by my intuition. Everything is by my intuition. As I guess my family surely knows, I do everything by my intuition. And one day I was like, I'm gonna go get my toes done. I'm not one of those people who like regularly like goes. All my hair is done at home by my mother or myself. Like, I don't too often like go out and stuff to like get things done. But one random day I was like, I'm gonna go and get my toes done. And so I went to this place with these beautiful Vietnamese women who I'd met before. That's how I know they're Vietnamese, because they told me about it. And I didn't get shellac, which I usually do if I get anything done, because I can't stand chipped paint on my toes, so I always get shellac. And that day I didn't. I was like, I'm just gonna get like a regular polish, and I just randomly chose a color that I would never choose, but I just felt like it was that color. And when I chose that color, the lady who was gonna be providing the services to me was like, "That's my color," and I think she said it's also the color of her car. And I just thought that was so sweet. Like, it just warmed my heart that I got to share that with her, and I feel like I got to make her feel like special and seen just by like choosing that color. Oh my gosh, why am I so emotional? But I just love stuff like that. Like, it's my favorite thing, like being connected to people and being close to people. And so I guess it goes back to what I was saying earlier about Teyana Taylor, and how like throughout her whole divorce, and even now with her husband, her ex-husband, sorry, like she's prioritized love. And she said that in the live that she did. She was like, I always, like, it's always about love. I got to go back to love. And I think what like made that video like so like touching to me is because like that's how I am now. Like, that's what I'm all about now. I've always wanted to be like that, but that's what I really put it into practice now. And I feel like that video was a creation of myself, like reflected back to me. It was a mirror back to me. And I felt like it was like praise and props and a round of applause and a pat. See, there's this little dragonfly thing just like flying around, like, yay. Yeah, it's like little claps from my guys, from my family, saying like, look at you, like you've done so well, like the reason you love her is because she's you. And so I wanted to share that. And to get out of group chats if you don't like them. I'm hearing that song. I hope you know, I hope you know, this has nothing to do with you. It's personal, myself and I got some straining out to do. I'm gonna miss you like a child misses their blanket, but I gotta get a move on with my life. It's hard to be a big girl now, but big girls don't cry. I remember when I was in like the first grade or something, or just a CEO. I don't know if people know about what that is. Uh, and my cousin Brandon was watching me. I think, well, like my mama like went off somewhere like to a field or something next to the school, and he was watching me, and he was like, I had just learned how to swing or something, and I was so proud of myself for like learning how to swing, and I thought I was impressing him because I was going so high, impressing my big cousin on the swing. And I remember he was like, "You got a big forehead." I remember he said that. Oh my gosh. Like, and it just ruined the moment. I was like, why the fuck is he hating on me? And I remember years later, I was like, I think in college or something at my uncle's house, and this same cousin Brandon was there, and he's like married with kids now. And he was like, "You so white. Like, why is your skin so white? Like, why are you so pale? Like, you're so pale. You're like a white person." And like, just always just like giving me a hard time. And I remember like thinking both of those times, like, shut the fuck up. Like, leave me alone. Like, why are you bothering me? And like, I was like annoyed with him. But now, like, when I look back, it's just like, I'm just so grateful. You know, I'm just so grateful. It's just like beautiful like that. And that's how I'm feeling. And I hope you can feel the energy like through what I'm speaking, of like that gratefulness and that joy. Being grateful for this flawed person, that I even know him, that I got the chance to have those interactions with him, is beautiful. Focus on that. Okay? All right. I'll see you soon. And yes, I did dye my hair. Pop.